John Fetterman has now completed his villain arc. It all started when, on the issue of Israel, he slowly came out of the closet as absolutely sucking balls. Well, now he's gone full circle here. So look at this. By the way, I love this headline. It's like it was written by John Fetterman himself. Quote, "I'm not a progressive. Fetterman breaks with the left, showing a maverick side." So it's a maverick side to break with the left. The left is like, what, 5% of the Democratic Party in D.C.? And somehow it's a maverick side to be with the 95% of corporate centrist hacks? It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. He's being a maverick by standing with Israel. The thing that 90% of Congress does. That's not maverick. That's the opposite of maverick. That is the conventional wisdom. Oh, I hate these people. Oh, I hate them so much. Senator John Fetterman has drawn fire from progressives over his fierce support for Israel and broken with immigration advocates with his support for curtailing migration. Senator John Fetterman is breaking with progressives on hot-button issues with his fiery support for Israel and calls for Democrats to engage on tougher immigration laws, disappointing some on the left as he shows an independent streak. He's also continually scolding Democrats for not pushing Senator Bob Menendez out of office after he was indicted on federal charges of taking bribes and acting as a foreign agent for Egypt, which the New Jersey Democrat denies. So on this one, I agree with him. I do think that Menendez should be gone. I do think he should be gone. I think it's a joke. He was comically corrupt. He was even more corrupt than your average corrupt politician, and they're almost all corrupt. But I will also say this. Careful what you wish for, Fetterman, because you are also corrupt. It's just in a slightly different way. Yes, you didn't take luxury cars or have gold bars in your pocket. True. But you literally had AIPAC write your position on Israel. You drafted something up, you sent it to them, they made corrections to it, they sent it back to you, and you said, fine, I'll sign up for it. Just stay out of my race, don't endorse my opponent, and if anything, give me money. So he acted like a whore for the Israel lobby and did their bidding for money. Somehow that's okay, but Bob Menendez going a step further with the personal bribes, that's a problem. No, I think both are a problem. Yes, Menendez is worse because yours is the institutional corruption, but I'm also against the institutional corruption, and you're not. In the 2022 campaign, Fetterman's ties to Bernie Sanders prompted GOP opponent Mehmet Oz to tell voters he'd be a mere sidekick for the Democratic Socialists. But Fetterman's recent stances point to an unorthodox brand of blue-collar liberalism with a dash of outsider populism in a purple state that is expected to be hotly contested again in the 2024 election. But look, here's the thing. This is the problem with what he's doing here. How do you know that his quote-unquote blue-collar liberalism or outsider populism, how do you know that's going to stay? How do you know he's still going to be even good on union stuff or raising the minimum wage? If he totally flips his position on something, which he did, immigration, we'll get to that in a second. If he totally flips his position on that, then how do we know he's not going to totally flip his position on the minimum wage or on unions or on money in politics or on any of a number of issues? This is the problem. The problem is he's a sellout, and the problem is he's a liar. That's the problem. So you can't take his word on anything now. But they make it seem like, oh, this is an honorable man who had a change of opinion on certain issues, and he's a maverick now because he agrees with 95% of other Democrats in Washington, D.C. That is not a maverick. That is a conventional wisdom humper. That is an establishment bootlicker, is what that is. So here we go. In an interview, the first-term Pennsylvania Democrat said his critics shouldn't be surprised. Quote, "I'm not a progressive," Fetterman told NBC News. "I just think I'm a Democrat that is very committed to choice and other things. But with Israel, I'm going to be on the right side of that." Yeah, no, you're not. You're on the wrong side of that, supporting the killing of over 90% innocent Palestinians, 20,000 innocent people killed, and you want to keep arming Israel. And immigration is something near and dear to me, and I think we do have to effectively address it as well. So he goes on to, it's a reasonable conversation until somebody can say there's an explanation on what we can do when 270,000 people are being encountered on the border, not including the ones, of course, that we don't know about. To put that in reference, that is essentially the size of Pittsburgh, the second largest city. So in other words, look, he's fear-mongering about immigration. He says, I'm not a progressive, I'm right-wing on Israel, and I'm not on the left on immigration. I think we should restrict immigration. That's what he's saying. Okay, interesting. Look at this. Here's John Fetterman's ad when he was running.
I'm proud of my wife Giselle's origin story, and I'm so grateful for the sacrifices that her mother made all those years ago to come to this country looking for a better life. Because if they didn't, I wouldn't have the incredible family that I have now and the partner that I have in Giselle. The Statue of Liberty says, "Send us your poor huddled masses." And as long as we remain true to that original sentiment, America will continue to grow and prosper because immigration makes America America. I'm standing in front of a mill that was built on the backs and the blood, sweat, tears, and lives of immigrants that built this country. We diminish ourselves and are never more un-American when we eliminate citizenship for those that just simply want to contribute and be a part of our great country.
So that was, in no uncertain terms, a progressive populist pitch for immigration in this country. Basically, the argument is like, immigrants are probably the most American. Why? Because if you go talk to the ones who come here, and there's a video that went viral the other day of this, somebody coming in through the southern border, he was like, look, I just want to contribute to society. I just want to take care of my family. I just want to be part of this country. I want to work hard. That's what I'm all about. And his argument was like, that's most of the people coming in. That's what they want. That's what they're doing. It's not like, oh, MS-13 is all coming in here and they want to rape people and they want to do all these terrible things, bro. If you look at the statistics, and this was from a right-wing think tank that did this study, you actually have more crime committed by native-born Americans than you do from both documented immigrants and undocumented immigrants. They have a lower crime rate. So this idea, oh, they're criminal and they're dirty and all these things and they hate America and they're using the social safety net, even though undocumented immigrants are not really allowed to use the social safety net. All the right-wing arguments on this are bogus. They're factually untrue. And he made a progressive populist pitch for why immigration is a good thing. Now he did a total 180 on that. If you think that's all of it, you are wrong. Ready to keep fighting for a stronger Pennsylvania? Chip in whatever you can to help us take this progressive momentum all the way to the ballot box on May 15th. Great hair or the greatest hair? Retweet if you're standing with these progressive champions, Bernie and Fetterman. Throwback to 2009, progressive rhetoric is great, but progressive results are 100%. They're better. We have started a progressive movement here in Pennsylvania. It's not going away. We're not going away. This isn't over. This is not how our story ends. And then I got this one for you as well. So Jeb Bush tweeted, Mr. Room Raider, is it possible now that the election is over to rate rooms on a nonpartisan basis? Are you a room raider or a hyperpartisan person? That is the problem. We need less hyperpartisanship on backgrounds at this time for our country. And I think he was reacting to Fetterman's background. The guy rated Fetterman's room or whatever. Fetterman says, my dude, I'm a progressive Democrat and rate my Skype room gave me a 1 out of 10 plus claimed it looked like I was in a hostage situation. Okay, never mind. It wasn't Fetterman's thing. He's just saying this guy's not partisan. And then right underneath it, we have started a progressive movement here in Pennsylvania. So, guys, this is why young people get turned off to politics. This is why it's like pulling teeth to get young people to vote sometimes. Because you're promised one thing, you're sold one package, and then the package totally changed. Now, to be fair, he's always been bad on Israel. He's just gotten worse on it, but there were the seeds were there. The inclinations were already there. We saw them. But on the issue of immigration, no, this is just a total 180. He's just totally flipped his position. And my guess is there's a lot of negative polarization stuff going on here. So when he started being bad on Israel and the left started shitting on him relentlessly, I think that made him feel like, well, then fuck these people. And so now he sort of came out of the closet on immigration and he sucks on immigration. But like, if your fifis getting hurt leads you to be wrong on an issue, maybe you never really had a principled conviction on the proper side of that issue to begin with, right? It wouldn't matter to me if everybody who supported Medicare for All or whatever was a giant asshole to me. It doesn't matter. Medicare for All is still the right way to go. I don't care if the people are meanies who push for it. It's irrelevant to the policy question. My theory is John Fetterman got dumped on by the left for his Israel take, and he's just like, all right, well, then fuck you. I'm going to go to the right on other issues, too. And again, the main point is, if he failed on those issues, the Israel one, he was always bad. But immigration totally flipped his position. What else are you going to flip your position on? Why should people support you? It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And even somebody like Joe Biden, who did a number of decent things, and we gave him credit when he did the decent things early on in his time in office. But if you're then going to turn around and, like, arm and fund a genocide of Palestinians, well, then don't be surprised when young people are like, nah, sort of fuck you. I have a red line called genocide. So it's not on these voters. It's on you to do the right thing. It's on you to earn their vote. And if you're going to act like this, well, don't be surprised if next time maybe you do lose to Mehmet Oz, that goofball. All right, guys, that's the show. I love y'all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Please click like. Please click subscribe. All that fun stuff. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time video drops. You can listen to the show as an audio podcast over on Spotify if you'd like to. And that's all I got for you today, man. Everybody who supports the show on Patreon, I love you. Thank you so much. You guys make it work. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. You guys make that possible. Everybody who tips on YouTube, thank you so much. You guys make it work. You're amazing. I couldn't do it without you. So please consider supporting. If you don't, $2, $5, whatever it is, helps tremendously. And that's all I got for you. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.